This is Set Him Free, Chapter 3. Roman tapped his fingers atop the glass window pane, gazing over the kingdom. A soft glow from the moon reflected over various shops and cottages, making the whole area appear microscopic compared to the castle he was currently sitting in. Still, each of the commoners within the village below possessed much more freedom than Roman could ever wish to have. Being heir to the throne came with its wide array of rules and regulations, forming invisible chains that in the end left him strangled by his own standing. He looked up, the vision of hundreds of stars shining within his eyes. Roman could watch the stars forever. They served as a small escape from society's restraints, temporarily setting him free. As much as he enjoyed getting to be the hero, it was nice to be able to occasionally forget about the kingdom's expectations. Roman allowed himself to be enveloped in the illuminations, each star pulling him just a bit farther from reality. He held a finger to the sky, tracing through intricate constellations and brushing his fingertips across vast galaxies. One by one, he recalled the stories for each. Auriga, the swift charioteer, Draco, the fierce dragon guardian, and Orion, the valiant hunter. True heroes and villains, all captured permanently within the heavens. Legacies, all contained within stories painted in the sky. It fascinated Roman how long-lasting the arrangements were, spreading their tales generation to generation, and becoming immortal within thousands of illuminations. He let the memories of failed missions and strict orders slip from his mind, leaving only the stars. "Ah, there you are, Your Highness." A clear voice broke Roman from his daze. "It's great to see you as well, Logan, though I thought I told you that you needn't use such formalities when addressing me. Roman will do just fine." "All right, nope, I can't do it. As both you and the Queen's advisor, remaining professional is a top priority. If you are searching for nonchalance, you should have remained on the streets." "Oh, come on, Lo." A cheerful figure emerged from behind Logan, a bright smile painted upon his face. "You don't always have to be serious. We're still teenagers after all." "Exactly. 18 is the perfect age to grow up and step into the real world." Roman sighed. "I don't think you're going to sway him with this, Patton. Send out any new letters today?" Patton Oriole was the royal messenger, in charge of sending and receiving important information, along with establishing relations with other kingdoms. His bright and kind manner made him the perfect face for befriending others, allowing Eldon to gain many allies over the years. "Nothing was in need of sending today, but I did receive a letter addressed to all of us from Lunaris," Patton exclaimed, pulling a cream envelope displaying a crimson wax seal. Both Roman and Logan perked up at this, eyeing the letter with anticipation. "Well," Roman began fidgeting excitedly, "are you going to open it or what?" "Magic word, please." "All righty," Patton smiled, carefully opening the envelope and removing the paper inside. Roman and Logan leaned in, trying to catch a glimpse of the cursive-covered parchment, following along as Patton read. "Dear Roman, Patton, and Logan, greetings from the Kingdom of Lunaris. I hope you all have been faring well. It's been a long time since I last wrote to you all, so I figured I might as well write again. Things here have been going great since we last got together. Despite the constant lessons, Joan, Talon, and I have found ways to occupy ourselves, leading to many adventures. Talon has managed to teach me some swordplay techniques, so that I may be able to beat even you someday, Roman. All while Joan has been helping me stay on task with my studies. They sure know how to manage time well, though I'm not sure that I can go through another poetry class without boring myself to death. As for you three, Patton, I left some new wax colors in the envelope along with a new stamp tip for you. I figured that light blue would be a fun color for you to try out when sending letters. For Logan, I enclosed a page I found in one of the palace books, indicating flora and fauna specific to this area. And Roman, though I don't have anything physical for you, I wish you luck in catching that thief of yours. All the best, Thomas Sanders, Prince of Lunaris. Patton folded the letter up, removing the wax and parchment page, and gently placing it back into the envelope. With a smile, he handed the book page to Logan, who eagerly began reading. Roman chuckled, a bold expression forming among his features. "Ha!" he exclaimed. "I don't need luck. I tell you all, I was this close to capturing him today." "Sure," Logan smirked. "And was that before or after you were pushed off a candle shop?" "How did you find out about that?" "Valerie informed me after she returned from purchasing goods for the palace kitchen in the market." "Darn. Is no one going to acknowledge the fact that you were pushed off a building?" Patton knit his brows in concern. "Are you all right? Did you get hurt at all? Here, show me your arms. I need to check you for the plague." "I'm fine, Patton," Roman chuckled. "I caught myself before I hit the ground, and quite gracefully, too, if I may add." "I assume you didn't follow my advice from your last exploit, then?" "Stop engaging in valiant banter is not advice, Logan. I promise you both, I will arrest him one of these days. It's not my fault he decided to be dramatic today." "Dramatic? How so?" "Well, I did catch him as he was escaping from the top of the candle shop, though he unclasped that cloak of his and ran off before I could process what was happening." "Why can't he just be like all the other thieves?" "It's all right, Ro." Patton placed a reassuring hand on the prince's shoulder. "I do remember a certain someone saying they love to challenge." Roman flopped onto a nearby chair. "I suppose you're right," he mumbled, "though I just can't figure out what I keep doing wrong." "Try looking at it from a different angle," Logan proposed. "Find some way in which you must adhere to the scene you have created. Know your surroundings and stay attentive rather than simply jumping into action the moment a disruption is reported." "You know, that may just work." "Wait! I got it! You're a genius, Logan!" "Naturally." Logan smirked, pushing up his glasses. "What's your big idea, kiddo?" "You'll just have to wait and see when I come back with the notorious Virgil Rain in custody tomorrow. This plan is foolproof. I can sense it." "Foolproof, such as your plan last week in which you disguised as a street vendor to gain, and I quote, inside intel?" Logan looked at him doubtfully. "Hey, I played that part wonderfully. You should have seen how many people became upset at me when I explained I wasn't actually selling anything." "I'm sure you did a wonderful job," Patton quickly reassured him, while Logan simply sighed. "Well, it's good to know someone believes in my expertise." "Oh, I have no doubt about your skills, though your ability to push aside the theatrics for logic is questionable. However, I have no doubt that you will be able to complete all the tasks you wish to accomplish, as I know how dedicated you can be." "You know, I think that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Logan." "Don't get used to it," Logan deadpanned, receiving a laugh from the prince in return. A soft yawn caught their attention, and they turned to notice a very tired Patton struggling to remain awake. Logan and Roman approached the drowsy messenger, smiles crossing both of their faces. Roman gently tapped Patton's shoulder, causing him to jump slightly. "You're looking a little sleepy, Padre. You don't have to stay here while we discuss strategy if you don't want to." "No, I'm all right. I can stay. I'm not even tired," he mumbled, eyes fluttering closed before he could even finish his sentence. The two practically melted at the scene before them, admiring the dedication of the caring friend. Roman retrieved a quilt from the nearby shelf, wrapping the messenger in a sea of soft peach fabric. They then moved to a more distant corner of the room, careful not to disturb their friend with their discussions. Roman went through the day's events, describing each of his activities while Logan offered advice and the occasional critique. It had quickly grown later as Roman finished up the last of his exploits for the day, and he eagerly listened to the last of Logan's feedback. In all honesty, I do believe you have more than enough expertise to fulfill what you have set out to do. Now, all it comes down to is the mental portion. We must now work to improve your tactical intelligence. I would be glad to, Roman grinned. Though, can I ask you a favor? You're the literal prince of this kingdom. I don't think I'm allowed to refuse anything you ask unless refuted by your mother. You know what I mean, Logan. All I ask is that you don't inform my mother of the whole falling off a building thing. She already hates that I'm head of the guard, so there's no telling she would freak if she knew half the things I did out on patrol. You have my word. I will not inform her. Not inform me of what exactly, Logan? A cold hand rested on the advisor's shoulder, causing Roman and Logan to snap their heads around. Queen Elena, apologies, I didn't see you before. Logan nearly fell from his chair, scrambling to stand at attention. That would be your highness to you, Mr. Sage. Noted. Sorry to be informal, your majesty. Logan gulped, beginning to fidget with his fingers. If you will excuse me, I shall be directing Patton to his own room so that you may talk to your son, as I assume you desire to do. That you will, the queen responded, turning to the prince as Logan quickly shuffled out of the room, Patton carried in his arms. She looked to Roman, the cold regalness slipping from her face slightly as the door clicked shut. So, dear, I trust your day was magnificent. That and much more, Roman mumbled, not fully making eye contact with his mother. And the streets? Safe and protected, nothing out of the ordinary. Oh, good! The queen sighed with relief. You know how worried I get when you go out patrolling, especially with what happened to your father and everything. I couldn't bear to lose you. I thought you said we weren't supposed to talk about Dad. Indeed I did, which is exactly why we're talking about something else. The last words seemed to drip with an invisible venom as Elena pierced her son with a cold stare, though a second passed and she was instantly back to her noble self. Have you managed to come any closer in arresting that thief? Almost. I believe I may know just what to do next time. Roman struck a pose, happily reminiscing about the kingdom streets, lined with marvelous townsfolk and the perfect hint of adventure. Perfect. Then I expect you to be successful in your attempts soon. I expect you to be prepared. You are coming closer to holding the crown more with every day. I will. Thank you, Mother. You are most welcome, dear. The queen stood up, heading to the door. It's getting late, and beauty sleep is an important thing, so I suggest you settle down for the night. Rest well, Roman. Yes, Mother, Roman muttered, meandering up a small spiral staircase and into his room. The white and gold door closed softly behind him, allowing the tension to slip from his shoulders. He gracelessly collapsed onto his bed, taking in the soft comfort of the crimson sheets. Rolling onto his back, Roman turned his head gently to glance out yet another window. The stars came back into view, providing a reassuring comfort. His mother hadn't been the same ever since the king had died. She was now colder, crueler, and even more protective than before. Roman tried to convince himself that she was just trying to keep him safe, though with each conversation he felt more and more as if he was being controlled. There was no telling what the queen would think if she knew how exciting Roman's days actually were. He began to feel his body grow heavy, the exhilaration of the day finally catching up to him. Closing his eyes, he imagined the stars growing into even more vast galaxies, stealing him away from the life of expectations and pressure. Images of a world so beautiful, it seemed almost too good to be real. Each picture shone within his head as he finally slipped into his dreams, surrounded by the impossible illuminations. This has been Chapter 3 of Set Him Free. Woo, that's a rhyme. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time for Chapter 4.